There's a scene here at Union Station. I'm not sure what's going on right now, but the police, there are a couple security guards over that way and cops over there. It's like the cops are heading somewhere, so something's happening. There could be multiple scenes happening right now, but one thing when I saw was that cab parked emergency right there. Century taxi. And I was walking out, I saw the cab driver get out of the car and run into the Union Station. And some cops over here, you know, were checking this fucking car up. Then something else is happening. I don't even know what's happening, where it's happening. They were screaming and stuff too, I heard. But I wanted to give an example of NSA, National Security Agency technology being used by the cops here. So, see the cops here in DC. There's something huge happening where the cops are emergency rushing into Union Station, but I'm not sure what for. Yeah, they all ran over that way. Anyway, so I'm in favor of security checks. I don't care about security checks. I don't look at it as a problem per se. Like, in terms of NSA, what they would do with NSA here is, in DC, they're always freaking out about bags, vehicles, and other things. Oh yeah, they're doing something in this area right now. I don't know what. But what they'll do with NSA, if it was being used publicly, you would see that they were, yeah, they got cops closing this area off right now. Maybe a little bit. They'll scan that car with NSA satellites. There's a lot of cop traffic going on. There's... Yeah. Yes. I can say that I saw the cab driver get here and he ran into Union Station really fast. He got out and then he got back to his car, grabbed something, and ran into Union Station. So I saw him parked there just a little bit ago and run into Union Station.
That's
all right. All right, yeah.
What happened?
Oh, cab driver just parked his car right here and ran into Union Station, left his car, and any type of bag or car, you know, obviously was scared of them.
We're not going to be able to get it. We're going to miss our court.
Do they have like a phone or something?
What about all those shuttle buses? We're supposed to catch it in 30 minutes.
Yeah, well,
we're not going to make it.
Hopefully they get this shit cleared up really fast, like say, just wait it out. Because they're going to probably cause a scene here and get the guy out. He's probably inside right now. Because that's where he was. And he left his taxi here.
It's not going to be any...
Let's go on the other side.
Okay, let's see if they let us. I doubt that they will. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is all over this car, which is causing everyone a scare. But with NSA... they have satellites right up there, and military radar too, which uses the sky like a mirror. So the interferometry scan that car, they know it's not a threat. With artificial intelligence, it automatically knows the composition, the components of the car, and whether or not it's out of specification, or if there's any bomb or anything on it, or any type of drugs, or every item inside the car, in the trunk, and under the seat, all that type of shit in the glove box. That's what interferometry does. Now, it would save us from scenes like this, but also this type of scene, I'm not sure what it is. Is this a parallel construction? This is like a fake emergency. I don't know what it is, because I believe that this would automatically bring NSA attention. instantaneously from the satellites and the military radar. If that car wasn't already being tracked and spied on, anyway, so in the real world, though, they would, in my opinion, NSA is like a god. They've got this technology in space. It's godlike. It beams down rays. It does scans. It assaults people. It can kill people. It can destroy things. It's activated numerous ways. Anytime emergency responders are called through, 911, through police officer sightings, through radio communications. But here's another one, through brain communication. So an officer just has to think, and they have this stuff called BrainLink. So if an officer thinks about something like this, they'll automatically just, technically what they could do, an officer could think, scan this car, and then it'll automatically be scanning the car and stuff, and boom, within a second, it already knows everything. It's like an MRI. The officer would know, and there's nothing wrong with it. Let's just wait it out. And we've got some intelligence. The guy who was in the car, according to the recordings from the satellites, say that he's inside right now. And it's a really advanced system. It's already in place. Gary Johnson, governor of, I think, New Mexico, was just talking about how he would shut NSA down with the executive order if he made president, including the satellites that are trained on us as people. They're watching us. They're scanning our brains and all that. Now, this taxi driver just caused such a big-ass scene. That isn't normal. He probably knows that he's not supposed to park there. Like 100%. He knows for a fact he is not to park there. DC is very secured. They talk about the crap all over the place. Everyone's like, hey, the number one thing is if you see a bag or leave a bag or a car or any type of item, you will bring attention, and Homeland Security simply will be called in, period. Yes.
Did the gentleman look like he was a taxi cab driver? Was he wearing professional attire?
He was dressed in white,
white?
And shorts, like kind of like a gray shorts, yeah.
Probably stolen, yeah. All right. And approximate age? I just want to see.
I would say 30, younger guy.
Okay.
Yes, and I thought brown hair, shorter hair, just longer than mine a little bit. There was yelling and screaming over here, too, before he actually went back to his cab. I don't know if it was him or someone else. Before he got in his cab, pulled out some papers, and then ran into the station.
Did he have a fare with him, or was he by himself in his vehicle at the time?
Just him. He's the only one I saw anywhere near his vehicle. And I did not see the cab actually drive to this location because I was walking out of Union Station.
Okay, well, I appreciate it, yeah, because what you're telling me is everything that we got already over the air. I just wanted to make sure everything was nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, this whole area. So yeah, NSA is already equipped to handle scenes like this, but in the public realm, you don't see them acknowledge that they're using NSA, and it might be getting underutilized. And I don't know because I'm not inside of government.
If you can hog along the grass close to the building, we have a suspicious vehicle right here. Suspicious vehicle, someone drove up on the curb and took off. I would prefer you walk around, but if you don't want to walk around, hug the building as close as possible. Okay.
Yeah, but Gary Johnson said he would shut it all down, so he's apparently already in the know on the satellite capability. And the military radar stuff is like this. It's like this. It's here on the ground. You have a radar installation like HARP type array. There's multiple HARP type arrays, at least 25, and they're installed in sea and on land around the United States. And these things will, this is a sky up here, so it'll go like, boom, beam an array into the sky, it'll bounce down and say like, here's the car. They'd be scanning it, boom. They could, in my opinion, they could also go right through any homes or people right to the car and scan it. It's just like a MRI scanner in the doctor's office where it scans through your clothes and everything and the atmosphere around you. Boom. Hitting you with signals. It's redundant. The satellites are redundant compared to the ground-based stuff. The satellites, we use those more in foreign countries than we do here in the United States. There's people called targeted individuals. Oh yeah, and this is building penetrating and ground penetrating. So if you go into a huge ass building, it's thick like this one here, Union Station, it still works. Capabilities of this, they can tell like age of material, electrical activity, monitor the function. So that's how they can get your thoughts and your brain waves out and your memory. They can even watch a computer, scan a computer, take stuff off the hard drive and out of the memory as it's going on. That's the ultimate signal of intelligence. And they can watch people walking around inside of a building. If you're watching a family in a house, you might watch the couple having sex and the kids masturbating in their rooms. That's how invasive it is. And you got little Sarah there masturbating to porn in her room, when she's 13, and the NSA sitting there taking scans of that. I've got some video demonstrations of this on my website, obamasweapon.com. It's at the very bottom of the homepage, and it's an MRI of a couple having sex inside the MRI, and you can see the heart rate and the beating of the hearts and everything, and you see the vagina getting penetrated and the penis being penetrated by the female as they're having sex. Yeah, that's what this type of technology allows. So obviously they're going through skin and bones to get that, and they're scanning the whole body at once, inside and out. That's what this technology does, inside and out of a building, a car, whatever. DrRobertDuncan.com has some more info on that. Well, I can't stay here forever, because my thing's going to crap out and not allow recording much further than, longer than this. So you're wondering about getting electronically assaulted. First of all, they have to broadcast the radio frequencies into whatever they're scanning. That could be a frequency from like 1 megahertz up to several hundred gigahertz. And you can confirm some of the frequencies by looking up the electron spin resonance article on Wikipedia. The vast majority of frequencies used are between like 8 and 10 gigahertz. But it varies. They can use any frequency. Oh, they're bringing out a sniffing dog. Yeah, but they use a variety of frequencies to do it. And when they're hitting the subject, a person with radio frequencies, they could cause vibrations, electrical activity, alterations, and put voices in the head, put images in the head. But yeah, they're hitting people's peripheral nervous systems and brain. So the car just got checked out by a dog. Now the car didn't blow up. Which is good. That is a very suspicious car. This is very suspicious because everyone in town is briefed on, especially a cab driver. They know not to be parking their car like that and leaving their car. And if this was a stolen car, which that would be a reason the person would not even know the rules, and they would just be reckless. There are human beings being tortured by what I'm talking about, because it's very advanced. It's designed to cybernetically control human beings and torture them and interrogate them remotely. Like, you know, in the CIA, or even some cops in, say, Chicago or something, they take someone to a black site, or maybe even the military intelligence in Iraq, you know, they beat somebody up, do it all with their fists or the environment somehow, right? Well, this technology has been designed to interrogate them with radiation, and the interrogation is not used to get info most of the time. It's usually used just to brutalize somebody for fun or to send a message to them. So when they do an interrogation with radiation, they want to fuck you up usually and get away with it. It's very secretive. Check out Dr. Robert Duncan for the best info on that. It's already vetted 100% real. Oh, so it looks like everything's continuing to operate except for this fucking car that's still here. There's a patent on my site on how to actually put vibrations in your skull using pulse modulated microwaves, which come from a satellite. And that goes, okay, so once it vibrates your tissue, creates a little vibration, go to cochlea, which is your ear. Inside the ear, it's converted to sound signals, which convert the nerve signals, goes into the brain, and you hear whatever they're putting there. That's not even the one where they go right into your nerves and they do nerve stimulation. But they can do it all. It's very precise. It hits just the targeted nerves, so they can hit an array of nerves in your brain or your ears to precisely cause you to hear a surround sound effect, like there's sound coming from the wall or from the background. It mixes in with your reality, so you can have people talking in the background. They've advanced it to actually mix in voices with the sounds around you, people talking, kids playing on a playground. It's very advanced. The patent was filed in 1974 to alter brain and nerve signals remotely with military radar. So military radar satellites are the same. There's a lot of victims out there. So with a thing like this, I mean, that cop, he might have been giving us, strategic information just for the video, and that this was, they were already suspecting a stolen car type thing. That's how they have conversation with people, is they have a lot of secret stuff and they choose what to give out and what not to give out. And it's not always based off, they didn't really need any info from me. That's what I'm getting at. They have full NSA capability here in town, but I don't know precisely how far they're using it. You know what I mean? I don't know, because I'm not on the inside of the crew. But I know that, yes, there are certain targets under serious observation and surveillance with this, and even torture, some of them. And the cops all know about it, and they're all involved. But how frequently are they briefed? Are they getting active intelligence all the time? I can't say. But regular intelligence, yeah, it's pretty frequent. A lot of face-to-face discussions. There's this guy. This cop just took a pic of me. And he had his camera phone out.
Excuse me, sir.
Hey, what's up?
can't say you can't film. I'm just asking why you are.
Oh, I've been here the whole time. I saw the guy get out of the car and run into the Union Station. He left it right there, and then all this police activity started happening, and I was waiting for a bus. But since it all started happening, I just stayed here. I told the cop everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not going to tell you you can't film, but
Yeah.
obviously when people start filming us,
Yeah.
you don't know what anybody else's ulterior motives are. Okay?
All right.
Like I said, feel free to film. We're not doing anything wrong.
All right.
Have a good one.
Yeah. Oh, they got the registered owner of the cab right there. This is not the guy I saw, as far as I know. Didn't look like him. I'll wrap this video up with there is a reason why you don't see the cops like carrying around devices like they have in Star Trek, like those little tricorder things. They put those level devices up in space, and they're all used secretly. So they can scan that car, scan people, do all sorts of shit. And it's not just for medical stuff. It allows synthetic telepathy because they can pull out your thoughts and everything. And they prefer to keep this all secret, so it's like in violation of the Fourth Amendment how it's being used. And that's why they deployed it up in space and radar, because they can basically keep the framework they have where the cops are just who they are and they're not using any more advanced techniques, they're not invading anybody's privacy and all that. But they are, right, behind the scenes. They just keep it secret. It's all in the black world. And for some reason, they just want to keep all their technology and capabilities secret. They don't want people to think about how technology is advanced. They've done a lot of bad things to develop the technology they've made. It's very profitable if they keep the technology for themselves. That's the other thing about it, is if you just maintain secrecy on something, you could have a lot of profit and a lot of power, because other people won't have it and won't be able to figure it out or develop it themselves. So that's the route the United States took in its history, and that's why we're at where we're at today. But it makes for easier victimization of people. You can do a crime, and when you do the crime, you don't got to do the time, and nobody will even be able to figure it out how it was done or if it's happening. So this technology allows mass populations to be surveilled, controlled, managed, and have no secrecy, no privacy or power of their own. But inside the government, a very small percentage of people, 10% of the population here in the United States, including executive office, including Congress, including CIA and FBI and local state cops and bullshit like that, you have a lot of power and a lot of ability no one else has and no one can touch. They do go after people who find out about this, like me. I am a enemy of the state. I'm a targeted individual, and I've had bad things done to me, and torture, brain damage. If you do a dissection of my brain when I die, you're going to have injuries that I shouldn't have for my age. And there's nothing in my medical record that's going to indicate how it was caused, besides what they did and what I claim they did with radiation to actually harm my brain on purpose and interrogate me and stuff like that. Honestly, that could have been the cab driver now. Maybe he had pants on, or I don't know. Because that looked similar to what he was carrying. It was that white thing. The only thing I saw was that. Yeah. Yep. Which appears to be a clipboard, but I'm not sure. Well, from this distance I can tell it's a clipboard. We can extract secrets from other countries. We don't even need to do that though, because we're already on top. But like, you know, anything that other countries are doing, it's like way less than what we're doing. And the CIA director acknowledged that. Director said, you know, other countries, they're not going to have their own solutions for encryption. It's all going to come from the United States. And that's because our technology companies own most of the infrastructure, design the software that everyone else is using, and then also the hardware itself is based around our standards, United States standards. So you're not going to have a competing encryption standard. And this technology I'm talking about, the satellites and radar, are designed to bypass encryption. So it's useless to think you can encrypt anything and keep it secret from anyone but your neighbor. You know, it might work in your neighbor, but it ain't gonna work on government. And there's a lot of secret interpretations on all this stuff. Like, oh, you wanna know why everything's so secret? Because the government is using obscurity to keep their backdoors secret. They have backdoors and everything, and secret mechanisms and ways of doing everything. And the only way they can keep those backdoors secret is if the public doesn't know how to hack them, doesn't know how to potentially, you know, utilize them themselves, and also, you know, they don't know how to cover their tracks. So that keeps it so the government can keep using the same old backdoors and surveillance methods and different shit. So that's why everything's so secretive and classified so highly. I was told that by an operative himself. So you have you got dual purposes for why it's so secret. You have the profit, power motive, then you have to keep it secret, keep it secure. keep it usable and viable. Alright, I think I'm going to sign out. This guy, the cab driver, there's something going on, but this is a lot of just sitting here for nothing. My cab driver is the registered cab driver owner guy is just standing there, ain't getting arrested. They're waiting for, say, the guy who owns the car to come, or maybe they're gonna do a tow. I don't know, but gotta get to where I'm going.
That's why I was coming over to pick them up. Tell them to go to the coffee shop.
I was gonna consider asking the cops what the fuck, or even interview the dudes, like, what the fuck happened? Why'd you have to stop here? Or what's going on with this? But I'm gonna go ahead and go.